very warm welcome to the GDST's annual reception. Our annual reception is a wonderful opportunity for current staff and the many, many friends of the GDST to get together to see each other again and to exchange news. And of course this year it's a very special annual reception because today kicks off a year of celebrations of the founding of the GDST by 4 redoubtable Victorian women 140 years ago in June 1872. So we're not just celebrating the past year as we usually do, but we're actually this year celebrating the past 140 years. And it's been a fantastically interesting and event-filled year. If I had to pick a few highlights, I would mention successfully getting planning permission for the Royal High School Bath to move into a beautiful listed building, its junior school, Cranwell House, which was quite a struggle, but we got there. And another planning victory was persuading Camden, by a very narrow margin, 6-5, to allow our girls to move into a temporary school on the sports grounds while the major redevelopment work on South Hampstead School goes on. We started work also this past year on a huge development in Notting Hill and Ealing High, which will be completed next spring, and that will transform that school. So those are 3 very exciting planning developments. On the educational side, we launched a very exciting maths project in our junior schools, which we hope will bring sort of excitement and verve and innovation to the way in which we teach maths to our reception to Year 6 girls. And we also started preliminary work on a big research project with Cambridge University on what really works for girls in education. We launched our first ever Oxbridge conference for sixth formers, for 150 sixth formers aspiring to get into Oxford and Cambridge, and this last year's was at Fitzwilliam's College, Cambridge, and then we're doing one next month, our second one, which will be in St Anne's College, Oxford. So we intend to distribute our presence between the 2 universities. And we welcomed some excellent new heads into the GDST family. Academically, of course, our girls, many of whom are here today, continue to excel. They outperform their independent peers at every age and every stage. This is something we say so often in the GDST that we know it by heart, but it is actually true. And this means, of course, that the vast majority of our sixth formers go on to the university of their choice. And last year, nearly 120 GDST girls went to Oxford and Cambridge. And I just wanted to particularly mention we're very pleased this year that our academy at Belvedere has 3 Oxbridge offers. So we're very happy about that. And this is just a selection of the wonderful achievements going on around trust schools. In the programme for this evening, you'll see a list of the prize winners, some of the prize winners in our school, and it's really nice to welcome you. If you see people who look a great deal more glamorous and a lot younger than most of us, sitting mostly in the front row, they are our prize winners and some of our head girl teams. So a really warm welcome to them for making the whole evening look more lovely. And you are all a great credit to your schools, and we're very, very proud of you. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our donors and our supporters, a number of whom are here tonight. Trust schools were founded by very committed philanthropists, and it's very good to see the spirit of philanthropy is so strong still in the GDST. The support of parents, of alumni, and of all our corporate donors and trusts makes a real difference to the lives of our children and to the future of the GDST. And I'd especially like to mention a small number of charities and corporate supporters whose funding for bursaries means that we can make a GDST education available to a far larger number of girls than we otherwise could. In particular, HSBC, John Lyons Charity, the Catherine Cookson Charitable Trust, and the Leverhulme Trade Charities Trust, as well as companies and donors like Oddie Dalton, who support bursaries in individual schools. And I know I speak for every head and for all of the Trust staff when I say your support ensures that the Trust can continue strongly into the 21st century. Today's events mark as I said, the beginning of our year of celebrations of our 140th anniversary. And we've been in conference all today, and we've been really looking at how we can prepare our girls for a very rapidly changing world. And remembering how revolutionary our founders were, we want to be able to get our girls as well prepared for the decades ahead as perhaps some of the alumni who are here present were prepared for the modern world of today. Now that seems to be a very appropriate moment to hand over to our chairman, Lorna Cocking, who's going to introduce our Alumna of the Year Award.
Thank you, Helen. We were absolutely delighted last year when we launched the Alumna of the Year Award, but even more delighted this year at its continuing success. I think there were doubters last year who said, well, you can't do this year after year, but in fact this year has been enormously successful, and we've had 3 times the number of votes that we had last year. We received very many nominations and of a very high calibre, and we were hard pressed to bring down that list to a short list of 7 candidates, all of whom have achieved a huge amount in a wide range of activities. The nominees are Claire Bennett, Sydenham High School, who's with us here tonight. Claire captains the England women's foil team and has spent the last few years training hard to qualify for the Olympic Games. Alas, finding out this week that she hasn't qualified. Even though this is disappointing news for Claire, she's shown huge dedication and commitment. And if there's one thing we hope that our girls take away from a GDST education, it's resilience and the ability to bounce back. Claire is also an ambassador for the charity Street Games, bringing sport to young people in disadvantaged communities across the UK. Amy DeMarco, Putney High School, who is also with us here tonight. Amy is an award-winning academic clinical fellow and specialist registrar, working on a flexible surgical robot which is hoped will revolutionise keyhole surgery. She's also part of the medical entry group of doctors who are committed to widening access to medicine. Suella Fernandez, Heathfield School. A former scholarship head girl at Heathfield School, Suella is a barrister specialising in commercial, public, planning and local government law, and is a co-founder and chair of an international development charity, Africa Justice Foundation, providing education and training to African lawyers. Patricia Hamilton, CBE, Croydon High School, who is with us here tonight. Patricia is the Director of Medical Education for England. Her distinguished career includes stints as President of the Royal College of Paediatrics and Child Health, President of the European Academy of Paediatrics, and board member of the Postgraduate Medical Education and Training Board. Patricia was instrumental in setting up medical education in England, leading important initiatives on improving working and training practices. Suzanne Liversidge, Sheffield High School. Suzanne built up a legal firm from a one-woman operation into a large commercial practice. She is the first female president of the Sheffield Chamber of Commerce and was voted Sheffield Businesswoman of the Year for 2 consecutive years. She's on the board of a number of Yorkshire charities and community organisations. Susan Ma, Croydon High School. Susan was born in China and arrived in England aged 12. She launched Tropic Skincare while still in the 6th form and continued to build up the business while taking her degree at UCL. Last year, Susan appeared on the BBC's The Apprentice programme, where she came third overall and is now being backed by Lord Sugar. Rosemary Squire, OBE, Nottingham Girls High School, who is with us here tonight. Rosemary co-founded the Ambassador Theatre Group Limited with her husband in 1992. The group now owns 39 UK venues, including the Old Vic and the Garrick Theatre. She's also spearheading the campaign to raise money for the planned Performing Arts Centre at Nottingham Girls High School, for which we're very grateful. Thousands of our alumni and staff and friends of the Trust voted, and I would like to thank all of you who nominated an alumna for the award and all of you who voted. And now this is my big moment. And the winner is Claire Bennett.
Smashing up the award, that's a good start. But honestly, thank you all very, very much. I feel very honoured to be standing here with the award, particularly when you see this list of such formidable ladies. It really does make me feel rather humble to be standing here, honestly. And when you look at the life achievements of all these ladies and also the GDST alumna, you know, I just feel very privileged. Thank you so much to Catherine Pullen, headmistress at Sydenham High School, for nominating me and putting me forward for this award, and also a big thank you to everybody who voted for me. You may have heard from Lorna, obviously, that I'm a Great Britain senior international fencer, and I've been fencing since the age of 14, and I've been to lots of World Championships, European Championships and Commonwealth Games. Probably my most proudest moment in fencing was captaining the England team to a gold medal at the last Commonwealth Games in 2010. And it was, you know, I'll never forget it. It's one of those moments, those very rare moments in sport where everything comes together, and it's definitely a moment that I'll cherish forever. So I went to Durham University, and since leaving Durham 4 years ago, I started this Olympic cycle, and I've been training full time now in view to qualify for the London 2012 Olympic Games. And as you heard from Lorna, unfortunately I found out yesterday I was not selected to compete in Team GB. And despite this huge disappointment, I have felt some peace in the knowledge that I honestly gave it my all, and I tried my absolute hardest at all times. I said in a talk to pupils at Sydenham High School a while ago that whether I made it to the games or not, it's important that you always give it your all, and I did exactly that. So I'm very proud of that. And actually, I feel a much stronger and more resilient person for going through this Olympic journey. GDST teach their students resilience and determination. And it's something that I'm proud to say has stuck with me throughout my fencing career. And I think, you know, at elite level sport, you know, it's about challenging yourself to do something that's very hard, both physically and mentally. And to me, that's the ultimate meaning of sport. It's about challenging yourself and overcoming the tests along the way. And you can relate that to anything in life, not just in sport. So hopefully this will just be a bump in the road for me. Anyway, I've also been given I've been allowed to have £500 to donate to a charity of my choice, and I've decided to give it to Street Games. It's a fantastic charity. As you heard, I'm ambassador of this charity. And actually for some time now I've been wondering how I could give something back to the sport that's given me so much over the years. And I decided I would really like to give something back to young people at grassroots level. And Street Games is a charity that basically offers sport to the doorstep of young people in underprivileged areas. And I believe that participation in sport can have a hugely positive impact on a young person's life, as it did for me. Actually, I said at Sydenham when I gave the assembly, I was probably a bit of a cheeky student, as Mrs. Fuller will vouch for, and actually wasn't particularly great academically. But doing fencing gave me this discipline and this focus. It helped me balance out, my academic studies, and every year I sort of got better and better. So I do believe sport can have a massive impact, and actually it also has the ability to bring together people from all walks of life, different backgrounds, and it can be that glue that develops young people in the community, and Street Games does exactly that. So thank you so much to the GDST for this donation of £500. It's going to make a massive difference, and I'm really pleased about that. So I'll stop now because I don't want to be jabbering on when it's first and foremost a social occasion. But honestly, this award, it's not just for me. It has to go out to all the nominees because they're amazing, and thank you so much. It means the world to me. Thank you.